artists, and welcome back to the tutorials for editing in iMovie for the iPad. This is a school tutorial for a student project where we previously made a stop motion animation using the Coma app, and we are now loading it into iMovie to edit it. Previously we talked a little bit about how to add audio, sound effects, songs, things like that. So now we're going to talk about editing the actual film footage itself. So to begin with, as you can see, we've got a stop motion animation video here. There's various things going on. We've got a T-Rex, we've got tiny little figures being terrorized, all good things. So to begin with, in this film, we're going to show you how to split a clip, delete a part you don't want anymore, add transitions between clips, and add visual effects. So to start, let's see. Everything looks pretty good. Wait, why is there a seal here? I don't know. That seal suddenly appeared, so we're going to have to get rid of that piece. Seals have no business being in a movie about T-Rexes. So we're going to start before we see the seal. And you see this white bar here in the center. This white bar shows you which part of your video you are currently editing. So if my white bar is over here, and you can see the image on the screen, the T-Rex is chasing the little figures to the left, it means that if I start editing, it will edit this part. I don't want that, so I'm going to move it until I can see the seal, back up until I can't see the seal, but I also can't see the dinosaur. Here is perfect. I'm going to tap on my video, and you can see it's now opened all these editing options at the bottom. We're currently on filters. Filters will change the effect of your screen. It can make it black and white. It can change the colors, so on. But what we want is we want to go to the actions button that looks like the pair of scissors. Click. Here you can see it gives you two options, split or duplicate. Duplicate will duplicate or make a copy of the entire video clip. Now this is currently our entire movie. It's a minute and a half, so it would give us a second copy of our minute and a half movie. We don't want that. We want to cut a part and make it shorter. So we're going to click split. What split does is now it has chopped this film into two pieces. So we have the part before the seal comes in, and now we have the seal. However, the seal is still connected to the rest of the movie, so we have to figure out how to get the seal out of there. So we're going to keep going. Hello, seal. And, oh, seal's gone. So now we have to find that spot right here where the seal no longer is. Tap on that video again. Back in actions, the pair of scissors, and click split one more time. Now you can see we have isolated, we've taken this part with the seal and it's all by itself. It's not connected to the rest of the movie. Because we don't want it anymore, we're going to click on that whole section with the seal and just press the delete button in the right corner in the bottom. All gone. So now when we preview that part, there's no more seal. All gone. Totally fixed. So now that we have removed a piece, you can see that there's this strange button right here in the center. It's got a white line in a little square box. Let's go ahead and click on that. What that does is that gives us transitions. So you can choose to have no transition. Now, transition is in between the two clips. You can use a themed transition, dissolve, slide, wipe, or fade. Each of these will have a different effect. You can play with them on your own. But for now, let's try fade. So I've given it a fade transition. You can decide how long you want it to last. Half a second, 1 second, 1.5 seconds, or 2 seconds. We're going to go with half a second. Now this will affect what your video looks like, so you'll want to play with those a bit. So pulling it back, let's play and see what the fade looks like. Now it's split. It went from, it faded to black and then back to the screen. And you play it forwards, fade to black, back to the screen. So you can see that it does have an effect on the video itself. If you choose a different effect, for example, slide, it will do a different type. There you go. The transition will change also. So those are transitions. We've talked about splitting and deleting and adding transitions between the two parts left over. Now we're going to talk a little bit about adding visual effects and changing the speed. So we've got this nice scene here where the dinosaur is chasing the little figurines. However, when you watch it, it's a little bit slow. It doesn't seem very appropriate for being chased. It's not quite the action-adventure scene that you want it to be. So we're going to go in over here, and since we only want to affect this part and not any of the parts before it, just the chase scene. We're going to find where the chase scene starts. That's right here. Oh, not the run. There we go. Tap on that, and we're going to split this clip again. There we go. Now we have put the chase scene all by itself, and then we also have this other chase scene here. So we're going to finish up this chase scene too, and this one ends right here, so we are going to then split this also. Now we want both of these to be a little bit faster so that they're not quite so boring as this. So we're going to click on that again. We're going to go down to these edit buttons, but instead of action, you're going to click on speed. You can see it's fairly, this is its average speed right here, but we're going to speed it up a little bit, and we're going to see what that looks like. There you go. It's already much faster, so it gives it more of the appearance that something is actually happening. And I'm going to take it all the way to its furthest speed, the fastest it can go, and we'll see what that looks like. There we go. Now it's starting to look more like a chase scene. I'll add that same speed effect to this other clip here because they are both meant to be a high-speed chase. So let's test what they both look like together. There you go. Much more appropriate for a high-speed dino chase. So we've covered how to split the clip, that's when you isolate it by itself. We've covered how to adjust the speed, and we've covered how to then delete the parts you don't want, but we still haven't gone over visual effects. Now the visual effects are when you change the actual look of the clip itself. So let's say you want to go kind of old-fashioned, like they had in old movies when you were being kind of silly, and they changed the way it looks. So we're going to click on the clip that we want to affect, in this case this little clip, the first chase scene. We're going to go over here where it says filters, and we're going to click on filters. Now depending on these filters, they will affect the whole clip, so make sure you've split the clip and are only editing the one part you want, and it will adjust and change the way that it looks depending on how you select it, what you want it to do. So we've got vintage, we have black and white, we have silent arrow, which is black and white but adds extra effects to make it look like an old movie, and that seems kind of fun, so we're going to go with that. So we've got our filters. I'm going to press play. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. We can see the black and white and the visual effects that make it look like an old movie. So we'll add that visual effect to this one too, silent era. There you go. Now that chase scene has become a lot more goofy, which is appropriate for a T-Rex chasing a bunch of little figures around a plant. So let's see, to recap, we have talked about splitting the clip. That's when you chop it into pieces, and so you have smaller clip sections. We've talked about speeding up a clip so it goes faster. You can do slowing it down by using the same thing. You would just go to speed, and instead of moving it towards the rabbit, you would move it towards the turtle. This would also make the clip take longer to play. And we have also talked about the visual effects. So the very last thing that we're going to need to do is we are going to need to figure out how to add a title to this. Now normally we would also be adding music, but we covered that in our other tutorial, so we'll just do this way. So you have your first page. In my case, I included a title page as part of my animation. However, if you click on that clip and you go down here, you can also click on titles. So we're going to just take this first part and we're going to split this. So it's by itself. Go to Actions, Split. There you go. And I'm going to select that and also click the title button at the bottom. Now you can see these different types of titles that have popped up. And you can use this to either add the title of your movie, to add your name to the movie, or add any other information you want. I don't need to get too fancy with this, so I'm just going to click Standard, and you can see it's shown up on our screen, and so we can click right on that. Up pops the keyboard, and you get to write whatever you want. So in this case, because I already have a title, I am just going to write my name here. So here we're going to add our name to this page. So I'm going to just type in my name. Here we go, Miss R. Perfect, all done. So I've got my title, and that's all you need. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to add my class, what this class is for. So in this case, we're going to say middle school art. There we go, all done. Once you've finished, you've got your title. Now I see my name is partially covering my title. If you add your own title page before, you will want to make sure that that does not get in the way. But we're going to go ahead and click that. There you go, you can see my name and everything else. Movie starts, and la-di-da, there you have it. You've got your titles, you've got your visual effects, in this case silent film, you have your sped up video clips, and you have your special effect transitions as well. That is it for editing by adding different effects to the actual video. Check out the other tutorial video if you want to see how you can add and edit the sound and the audio. That's all, and I hope you have a lot of fun creating. See you next time, artists!